Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, Fabulites. Look, this is a new thing I'm doing. It's called Notes from the Newsfeed. I got 8 minutes before rehearsal. I'm trying to get it in when I can fit it in. I'm at this place in Hamtramck. I don't know what this is, but I think it's a collection of houses. This is the one with the blue gate. I think that probably means something. But some of the things from my news feed, you can find articles on my Twitter feed. But with Ramadan miniseries, Arab TV takes on ISIS. I guess it makes sense that there's Arab TV. I didn't even realize there was Arab TV, but there is Spanish language TV, so I guess it would make sense that there's Arab language TV. That looks like that would be something really interesting to watch. What do you think? June 5th, 1920, the United States Women's Bureau is founded. Did I know there was a Women's Bureau? In the 1920s it was founded. Study reveals open-minded people perceive reality differently. And I actually opened this thing up, and I mean they literally mean perception in terms of open-minded people see things differently from closed-minded people with more creativity. That was kind of interesting. I didn't read it. I kind of opened it and skimmed it so far, but maybe I'll read it. Activists give cops underwear to protest stop and fondle searches. I've never heard of a stop and fondle search, but from the news, from the headline, I'm guessing that some people are feeling that when they do these stop and frisk, these cops do these stop and frisk, not only are they out of line for stopping you and harassing you, but they're getting a little frisky with their frisking. What's up with that? Kerry Crawford. Oh my gosh, is this a bug? There's an itty bitty bug crawling on my glasses. Okay, Kerry Crawford Smith opened an employment agency to help African Americans during the Great Migration. So you move from, like me, I did the Great Migration in a way, moved from Hattiesburg, Mississippi to Detroit. I was moving back home. But then there's someone here who opened an agency. They saw a need to connect new migrants with employment. And I was curious about who was hiring and, sort of, I don't know, that just looked like a really interesting article to me. I hope that one day I get an opportunity to read it. Question and answer. New Detroit Superintendent Nikolai Vitti on living in Detroit and his early plans. So, I didn't quite know that there was a new Detroit superintendent. I'm probably out of the loop. I gotta switch hands, y'all. It'd be hard being a camera person too. So that was one thing I thought when I saw the headline. Oh Lord. The second thing I thought is, the person lives in Detroit. So that kind of was kind of like, okay. Are they actually a Detroit resident? I wonder what neighborhood do they live in? Do they live in Indian Village? Do they, where do they live? That's what I want to know. And then the other thing is the name. Look, I got to find my newsfeed. The name seemed to be like Italian. Would it seem Italian to you? It seemed Italian to me. So, yeah. Okay, what else we got? What else is going on in the news, y'all? Gardening for personal growth. Detroit's youth gardening programs do much more than build skills. I don't know what they're talking about, build skills. And I didn't read the article, but what it reminded me of is that I feel like I can't say that I've learned so many lessons from gardening, but I feel like I've learned a couple things from gardening. It's amazing to me how fertile the earth is, and I never really understood that. Like if you eat one watermelon, there are like 800 seeds in there, or 80 seeds, and each seed you plant could become a watermelon plant, and each watermelon you plant can produce 500 or 200 watermelons. I mean, my math isn't exact, but you get the idea to like these things that we throw away. It's like when I started collecting seeds, I'm like, oh my God, seeds are so abundant. This is amazing to me. And then the other thing is I remember when I was first learning to weed, I realized, I guess I should start walking back toward my rehearsal time. When I was first starting to learn to weed, I realized that was like a skill, being able to differentiate a weed from a plant. And some people, you know, from experience know this is a weed, even though it's really, really little to me. I'm like, how can you tell the difference between the weed and the plant? But they know from experience, and that's just like in life. Sometimes when, you know, you're really young or inexperienced, you might not be able to recognize the weed in people's behavior. But when you're older, you can see that stuff early on, like, oh, that's a weed. I'm gonna go on and pluck that out of my life right now. So anyway, that's some of the stuff on my news feed. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think I said that. So I'll just leave it with this. Be you, be fabulous, you fabulites. Peace.